pledge to uphold the traditions of this house, to remain impartial in judgment, and to strategize the principles that allow this house to judge their judgments impartially. Thank you. Now we are moving to question hour, and I would request respected LOP to raise his question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. जिस देश में गंगा बहती है, उस देश में हम सब रहते हैं। आज इस संसद में मैं बात करने के लिए मेरी चांस देने के लिए मैडम स्पीकर को धन्यवाद करता हूँ। And today I would like to ask the government, which is spending some thousands of crores on education, but today where are we? The amount you are spending is completely useful. In budget, we are keeping some thousand crores of amount, but literally the amount is used to purpose of education. Still, we are lacking in education. Still, we are undeveloped in literacy rate. According to me, from decades, we are allocating some thousand crores of budget to education, especially, and still we are suffering the illiteracy problem and unemployment, the most biggest problem of India. We need to address this kind of problems as we are sitting in this chamber as representatives of the country. It is our responsibility. It is our responsibility to protect the integrity and sovereignty of the nation. So, as the government, what government is doing? Still, why we are lacking? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, firstly, I thank you for the opportunity given to me. Just now we heard our leader of opposition talk about the education and our country lacking in education system. Yes, in fact, sir, whatever you have said that the budget that we are proposing for education is true. But what we should keep in mind is that literacy rate is not a short-term effect; it is a long-term effect. So we are making the changes and we are taking the required steps that are needed, and we will be progressing in the future. So it is a long-term issue, and it will be taken care in the long term also.
I would like to address the ruling party with this question. The US has recently placed tariffs on various countries. While they have given us a 90-day pause, I would like to ask the ruling party what it intends to do when the tariffs finally take.
Ever since Trump came to power, there's been a lot of volatility in international trade, and what he plans to do is up to the US government. But what we are doing is we are already in negotiations with the Trump government about the tariffs. We need stability. This volatility cannot continue. There will be volatility in short term, but as a proper framework will come to power, these volatilities will go down. And when it comes to trade, an inter-departmental company has been formed to look into the action as soon as possible.
What is the government taking measures and safety measures for vulnerable populations, including women, children, and minorities? And what is the government doing to address this problem of police shortage? And what is the measures and schemes they are taking for training of the policemen? The government has launched a national crime reporting portal to cope up with the issues which are happening with women and children. And financial assistance is given to states and UTs to train the police force. And public awareness education portals are made and they are free online, and the mass is educated. The opposition party can raise urgent concerns to the ruling party.
Madam Speaker, I would like to request Honorable Minister of Health and Honorable Minister of Law and Justice. Madam Speaker, actually my constituency, we won't have proper hospital, we are not having proper hospital facilities, and we need a new building for district court. So I request to approve the court to build a new court in my constituency and to make sure proper health facility taken care to the people by the Minister of Health. And Madam Speaker, I'd like to request our Prime Minister to take more concern on our constituency, because Madam Speaker, my constituency is consists of majority of youth, where our kids, our children, our youth of India are struggling for jobs. I request them to please concentrate on the youth and make sure every child and every youth of the country may get a job and be happy and become a pillar of the nation. Thank you very much.
A request to respect the ministry to give a solution.
As you have said, the leader of the we work on the requirements about the code that we made in the constituency, and we also discussed with the health minister about the hospital building that we want to have, want in the constituency. So we'll work on it.
The ruling party requested to give the introduction.
Honorable Speaker, esteemed members of the House, firstly I thank Honorable Speaker for the opportunity. Today I rise to speak on a matter that touches upon values and equity, accountability and inclusive development of the nation. That is the Waqf Amendment Bill 2025. For decades, the management of Waqf properties or these properties that are given by Muslims to their religious councils, we have seen many shortcomings of these councils. They have been opaque, and we have seen mismanagement and misuse, and they are stuck in the web of corruption. To remove these shortcomings, our government is planning to bring a new legislation titled UNI, which stands for United Waqf Management, Empowerment and Efficiency and Development Act. Through this act, with enhanced mandating audits and enhanced registration protocols and enhanced accountability mechanisms, we are making sure that the properties serve the true purpose. This amendment simplifies the dispute resolution mechanism also. Let me be clear about one aspect. This bill is not against any community. It is not about seizing, but about safeguarding. It is not about exclusion, but inclusion. Our Muslim brothers, especially Parmasada community, the poor and the women, will be the greatest beneficiary of this amendment bill. This bill is all about regulation, not about restriction. Thank you very much.
The request to minority affairs minister to brief on.
Madam Speaker, esteemed colleagues and distinguished members of the House, it is with a deep sense of responsibility and a vision for progress that I rise today to present the Waqf Amendment, a transformative step towards strengthening the management of Waqf properties for the greater good of our nation and in particular our Muslim community. This bill is not just a legislative reform, it is a commitment to justice, transparency and empowerment, ensuring the sacred endowments of Waqf serve their true purpose, uplifting the marginalized, fostering education and building a brighter future for millions of people. So, Madam Speaker, with the permission, I would now like to invite the esteemed members of this House to raise questions or seek clarifications on the Waqf Amendment.
Permission granted and the House is now open for debate.
Yeah, so here the non-Muslim members were given three members were to be included in the boards of central and state board, but nobody, the notice goes to the upper limit of the members of the House. Total how many people can be there? That is 12 out of 22 in central and 7 out of 11 state. The upper cap is whole majority. So maybe now it might be 3, but after 3 to 4 years it might be 12 and nobody can ask a question because of that. It is directly contradicting Article 26 of the Constitution, and you are taking away the power, not empowering. You are taking away the power from the Waqf boards. And next I want to some small loopholes, not small but yeah, major loopholes are there in the bill. The bill talks about giving giving only that practicing Muslims can give donation, land donation to that Waqf boards. Here that the bill doesn't define practice. So how do we know that a person has practiced for 5 years? 5 years they have kept the gap, and 5 years how do you define that practicing? What do you say? Now when a person says no, you are not practicing for 5 years. And also it is contradicting to the basic right of people. If I am a Hindu, if I want to donate some land to the Waqf board, I cannot. What is this? Only Muslims can donate. I should be able to donate, even if I am a Hindu or if I belong to any other faith. I should be able to donate land. It should not be restricted. And also, this practicing is not defined. It's a vague term that they have put, and maybe giving it something that defined should have been good. And next, the bill also gives power. The bill talks about registering whatever that there are present around 8.7 lakh properties in the belonging to Waqf. These 8.7 lakh properties, and there are 32 boards. The bill talks about registering the properties in just 6 months. And there are boards there are from mandal of boards and water of boards. These are all boards, they are located in very rural areas. They don't have enough technology, and there is no skilled manpower. Skilled manpower is less. When will you train the people? When will you give the technology? And in 6 months, man, you have to register about 8.7 lakh properties. It's implementing is like a dream. It's very hard to happen, and it's also what happens right now. Maybe some of the properties will not get registered in the 6 months, and then that will go to the government. You're taking away the land, you're taking away the water that is covered with to the government. Thank you, Speaker. Well, sir, you have one question and a lot of questions, so let me start with the first one.
Well, about the legal loopholes.
The Waqf Amendment Act aims to counter one of the biggest loopholes, is Section 40, unilateral declaration of assets. You see, till now what happened was Waqf Board can go anywhere, and they have been claiming properties based on the mere reason to believe that this land is theirs. And there have been a lot of absurd claims. In Tamil Nadu, Waqf declared 6 villages, approximately 400 acres of land, including a 1,500-year-old Hindu temple, Sundareshwar temple, in Tiruchendurai district in Tamil Nadu. So, before this amendment, Waqf Board, there was a lot of opaqueness in the proceedings, and whenever land disputes about this issue came into light, most of all these issues went to the Waqf Tribunal, and Waqf Tribunal was a candidate court in which the decision of Waqf Tribunal was the final authority. And can you tell me a case in which Waqf Tribunal has denied their open support to the Waqf Board? There is a lot of opaqueness. There is no transparency in what is happening. And in financial year 2019 to 20, Waqf boards all around India collectively earned 150 crores, and that is, let's say, an estimate. We don't know the exact figures. That is the numbers given by the Waqf board themselves without any auditory regulation. And coming to financial year 2024, Waqf only collected 1.26 crores. They were able to utilize their businesses to make 150 crores during peak of COVID, and when COVID is not there, 1.26 crores. I do smell something fishy. And lakhs of acres have been accumulated by Waqf Board. In 2013, Waqf boards all around India had 18 lakh acres. But from 2013 to 25, 21 lakh acres were added. That was because of the Waqf bill passed by previous government. And sir, when you told us about the interference with religious autonomy, the main purpose of this bill is not about autonomy, it's about transparency. Why should unchecked power to claim land without scrutiny persist? And about inclusion of non-Muslims and women. The inclusion of women was already a part of the original Waqf bill presented, but there were a few issues with the implementation of that, and this amendment aims to tackle those issues. Waqf boards are statutory bodies; they are not religious bodies. So I believe secular inclusion of non-Muslims should not be a problem, and inclusion of people from outside brings in expertise from law administration, ultimately benefit the management of Waqf. And after this amendment, there will be a lot of transparency. I'm not assuring everything will be 100% sure. There are loopholes in everything, in every government, in every country. But the main problem here is trying to bring down those issues to as much as possible.
As all of the questions are not answered, I will be answering the remaining questions what had been asked previously. Talking about inclusion of non-Muslims in Waqf properties. Waqf properties serve religious and charitable purposes, but management involves legal, financial and administrative responsibilities that require structured governance. And the role of Waqf bodies and Central Waqf Council is not religious but regulatory, ensuring legal compliance and safeguarding public interest. And coming to the centralization of power with the district collector. Decentralized system often leads to mismanagement, where collectors, being the executive head of the district, with due respect, manage it properly. And about the criteria that the people who should donate property, the requirement of practicing Islam for 5 years to declare a waqf is not discriminatory but a reasonable safeguard to ensure genuine intent. Waqf Islamic Foundation justifies a faith-based criterion to ensure declarations reflect its religious moorings. Thus, the rule is sound. Claims of discrimination overlook its uniform application and modest threshold, which neither excludes nor unduly burdens anyone.
Yes, as they said that there is inclusion of some non-Muslims in the Muslim community, religious and I would like to tell the opposition that we included 2 non-Muslims into the trust council because we should get a transparency where because of this so many Hindu religious lands are going to become Waqf land and there is no registration of that lands and illegally many Hindu religious land are getting into Waqf board and this is happening, so we included 2 non-Muslims to get transparency and we should not they should not be partial and biased nature towards one religion or other religion.
In the Hindu Endowment Act, that is religious act which in the Hindu people can give the charitable trust and etc. In that there is no composition of non-Hindu members and we are asking, it is also a statutory body, we are asking that why there is a non-Hindu member in this. And another concern is about composition. There is in the last amendment there is a Muslim law expert. A Muslim law expert has been removed in the 2025 this amendment. I am asking that why they are removed this Muslim law expert and in this amendment.
Speaker, the opposition party is talking a lot about transparency, but the main meat, can you please tell me the full form of meat?
Related of empowerment, efficiency and development.
Empowerment, efficiency and development. Yes, transparency should be kept in check because previously there was no transparency in the work boards. It is good, but you are giving power to whom? You are giving power to state auditors. State auditors to check the audits of the books. But the state auditors here are already burdened by their own state work and now you are giving again work boards to them, overburdening them. And then you are talking about district collectors. District collectors already has a lot of business management. He has to take care of the whole mandala and these things. But now you are giving again work board to them. Okay, it's a overall burden on the execution. It's an overall burden to the state actually. If you have like that, okay, there was a problem with transparency. Transparency, yes, it is a problem and we should take care of it. But that's not the whole thing that you are doing. You are taking into control, you are taking the boards into control, but not ensuring its transparency. The transparency is the only thing that you are doing correctly, but that also in a wrong way. And here you are talking about expertise from outside. You are talking about more expertise will come into the board if other members are not included. Previously, did you know the composition previously? Previously, the composition of workforce used to include from 2013 amendment. 2013 amendment for all 99 amendment, there was similar provisions in the composition. The composition would be an MP, not exactly an MP, but an MP was included in the board. A member of that and a religious expert was included. one second. Yeah. Representative from State Waqf Board and Islamic law, experts in Islamic law and jurisprudence, offering specialized knowledge. They offer specialized knowledge. And government representative, the person from government was also represented in that, to keep a check and balance. And also Muslim members from Bar Council, a member from Bar Council, law expert, a member from Mutawalis, who take care of the property, caretakers for those properties. So everybody, whoever had any expertise, like from law you take or otherwise experts you take, everybody were included in the boards. So it's not like now you put non-Muslim members into the boards and talk about it. We don't put Muslim members, as Stalin told that in other endowments, like in other religions. Why check only ours? Why you put into only this Waqf boards, this non-inclusion members? Does the government, as I was saying, does the government like trust on some citizens to put members of others faith into it?
As the opposition member Manohar Srinivas had spoken about the timeline which we have given, the 6 months of breathing period. As we have told, almost like 8.4 lakh acres of land is now registered under the Waqf bill.
9.4.
Sorry, 9.4. 9.4 lakh acres is registered under the Waqf. The main problem why we are bringing this legislation is that much of the land doesn't have any records of its own. We want the legal land which holds legal records to be registered. So we think this 6 months of time is enough for the registration of legal lands which already have legal documents. So when there are legal documents and everything is free and fine, you can register it easily. And you spoke about the burden on the executive. We will take care of the executive burden, and it is, I feel, it can be taken care with more with more appointments, and other burdens will be relieved in case you want us to focus more on this issue itself. And the member of opposition spoke about the timeline which are given. So he felt they felt that this timeline isn't sufficient. So I question them, does the opposition want an infinite timeline so that they can register all the illegal land? And time makes this infinite timeline. Undefined, they want the undefined time so that the illegal or the land that doesn't have proper documentation to be registered, and this will lead to corruption. So more amount of time given will lead to other lands getting registered. So there is a reason for the given timeline, and we justify that. Thank you, madam.
Actually, our beloved Prime Minister, उनको पूरा knowledge नहीं है पहले बात. Madam Speaker, actually Waqf, which consists of 9+ lakh acres of land, which is third largest in India after railway and defence. Madam Speaker, I would like to give a clarity about the assets of the Waqf. Madam Speaker, 8,72,324 are immovable assets of Waqf, and 16,713 are movable assets of Waqf. And Madam Speaker, as our beloved Prime Minister spoke about legality of land, and I would like to tell you only 13,000 acres are in dispute, which are in court. Right now, only 13,000 acres. It means remaining lands are legal. पहले पता करो फिर बाद में बात करो. And one more thing I would like to speak, Madam Speaker, Waqf. The rules they included in the new bill, these are already past recommended. When my government is in power, in 2005, my beloved Prime Minister, Mr. Srinivas, he appointed a committee, Mr. Dr. Rajendra Sachar committee in 2005, where Dr. Rajendra Sachar, he recommended us some points where they added right now. Actually, adding women is not their point, Madam Speaker. From 1913, where Waqf started in India, from that time, women are added in Waqf. And Madam Speaker, one more thing, they are including non-Islamic people in the Waqf. Madam Speaker, I agree when they allow us into the temple trust members. Madam Speaker, I'm sorry to say that after, in Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, which is one of the most renowned temple in India, Madam Speaker, the priest who works as a main priest, he should belong to the Vaishnava committee of Brahman. If not, he is not. No other community people are not allowed to perform kuch aise garbhagriha. See, where discrimination still, we actually abolished Article 17. There is no discrimination of caste. We are where we are. 2025. Still discrimination is going on. Madam Speaker, मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि आज भी अभी भी चल रहा है. ये लोगों को ये पता नहीं चल रहा है कि जो सच है. अरे भाई आप सच को देखना चाहते हो तो पहले समझाओ. You first convince the people what you are bringing as a bill. Try to convince the information what you have. Then let it pass. Then let it present. अरे भाई you are including to non-Islamic people in. I am happy. And one more thing, Madam Speaker, I am really sorry to say this. Actually, we have 32 Waqf boards in India and one Waqf council which acts as a apex to the Waqf boards. And Madam Speaker, composition of Waqf council of India is a Islamic law expertise and then 2 more executives from the government. And this government has removed the Islamic law expertise. ये कैसा है बोलो मैडम? हार्ट स्ट्रोक आए तो किडनी के क्या बोलते हैं, हार्ट स्ट्रोक आए तो पेडियाट्रिक के पास जाते हैं. अरे भाई हु इज स्पेशलिस्ट? अरे जिसको स्पेशलाइजेशन जिसको उसको लगाना है ना. अरे सी ये इलॉजिकल है मैडम स्पीकर. व्हाट आई से दिस इज कंप्लीटली इलॉजिकल. मैडम स्पीकर, द पर्सन हु हैज कंप्लीटली experience and his expertise in Sharia law. Madam Speaker, what waqf we find? Waqf itself, it is an Arabic word itself that a property which is given to the God. Once a waqf, it is always a waqf. Madam Speaker, in the new bill, they gave 6 months of time. Madam Speaker, and one more thing I would like to present in front of all the House members is that if a land dispute comes into the court, or if land dispute comes, a person has a time of 1 year. वहाँ पे 1 year दिया गया या फिर 6 महीने दिया गया है. If a temple land comes into a dispute, they have a chance of 1 year. Then yes, 6 months. What is this, Madam Speaker? Where we are, madam? Why?
Another point. Yes, please continue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. ప్రధానమంత్రి అన్నట్టు మనకు డాక్యుమెంట్స్ అవన్నీ ఉన్నాయి ప్రాపర్టీకి, కానీ డాక్యుమెంట్స్ ఉన్నాయి కానీ వాటికి డాక్యుమెంట్స్ అప్పీల్ చేయడానికి ఓన్లీ కలెక్టర్ వరకే పోయేది. కానీ డాక్యుమెంట్స్ ఉన్నప్పుడు మనం అప్పీల్ చేయడానికి ఒక ఛాన్స్ ఉండాలి కదా. ఆ ఛాన్స్ ఎందుకు లేదా నేను రూలింగ్ గవర్నమెంట్ని అడుగుతున్నా. ఇంతటి నా దగ్గర
Yes, the Minister of Minority Affairs asked about to give an example for the Waqf board. About you questioned about the opaqueness rate. So there's an example: Karnataka Waqf board land scam. A report by Justice Anurag Maniyar, then a member of the Karnataka State Minority Commission, accused the Karnataka State Waqf board of misappropriating over 27,000 acres of Waqf land. And the land valued at over rupees 2 lakh crore was allegedly illegally sold, leased or encroached upon with board members' collusion without proper public bidding or transparency. Let me tell you why. It shows the opaqueness. No public record of major land dealings, lack of audits or public financial disclosures, failure to consult the local Muslim community or ensure that the revenues benefited.
How much land did the Waqf board acquire from 1930 to 2030? And how much did it acquire from 2013 to 2024? The land was approximately tripled. That means the land which is acquired in a century is acquired. It had tripled more than 3 times in between just 10 years. And firstly, we would like to clarify a thing, that you spoke about the inclusion of women in the Waqf boards, but actually we did not mention any women inclusivity here in this session. And speaking upward, the Hindu religious and not endowments, he has spoke about TTD. Yeah, there must be some standard set for to offering a prayer. Can I go and say that I am a prophet? one clarification. The government has recently added one more provision that the time for registration is not 6 months, they are going to increase it. So there will be enough time to register all those properties. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, he told acquire. मतलब అంటే వర్క్ కోడ్ అయ్యి గుంజుకుంటా. People they are donating. अरे यार it's people it's who are the person. Who are the person man? अरे नहीं. अंते Madam Speaker, people are donating their land. Their land they are
Made in silence.
people are donating their land. It becomes twice it's people wish to donate. It is not मतलब मुझको क्या जाना लगता है कि वो किसने दे रहा है सिर्फ people are donating by this it's people wish to donate or not so it triple double ये अपने फर्क नहीं पड़ता मैडम people की मर्जी
Please raise your issue.
If I may just discredit what the leader of our opposition party just said. Sir, it is not just donations that are present in the WAF concept. The board also claims land sometimes, saying that they belong to Muslim ancestors. An example of this is a village in Tamil Nadu. It was a fully Hindu village, but then it was claimed arbitrarily by the WAF board, saying that it belonged to Muslim ancestors. And in Karnataka, the WAF board designated 15,000 acres in Vijaypura as WAF land. And in this area, there was a primary presence of Hindus for a long time. Yeah, that's all I would like to say.
Yes, Madam Srinivas.
Yes, as I previously mentioned that they have 9.7 lakh property, they are fearing, the opposition is fearing that because this community is getting a lot more property into their hands. Let me point out something. Temple codes, Tamil temple codes, Hindu temple codes. Only Telangana, Tamil Nadu has around 4,47,000 acres under them, and AP has around 4,56,000 acres, and Telangana has 87,000 acres. The combined three states have around 10 lakh acres under them, only temples. And now they are pointing out at the board as the difference that why does this doesn't come out and that comes out. That is a whole sole organization there. Is a sole organization for representing whole Muslims in the whole country. So it's a sole organization, that's why you're talking about the poverty. But here the separate temple boards has around the accumulated land of 10 lakhs acres only in small 3 states that belongs to only 3 states. I'm not counting the major states also. Haven't you taken why not take any regulations here? Why not think about why the temples, why don't they encroach there? I mean yes, there is a problem of boards taking about lands like that. That's why we need proper reforms, not putting someone into their board and taking control of it. You need to give them autonomy at the same time curbing their power to take it, not to wholly cut out the taking all their power. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Respected member of the parliament, एक्चुअली जैसा इन्होंने बताया कि 2000 अमेंडमेंट बिल के द्वारा बहुत ट्रांसपेरेंसी चल रहा था प्रीवियसली कि अभी क्यों इस अमेंडमेंट को लाया गया और इंक्लूजन क्यों दूसरे रिलीजियस के लोगों को किधर किया जा रहा है. अगर हम देखें कि 2001 से 2010 जैसे अपोजिट रूलिंग अपोजिशन श्री ने बताया कि कर्नाटका में जो चल रहा है ना वो करप्शन, उसकी बात करें तो 27 crores acres of land is get corrupted and 2 lakh crores are the land value. And यहाँ पे जैसे कमिंग टू वक़्फ़ क्या है इसका मतलब है कि जहाँ डोनेशन दिया जा रहा है वो उसके कम्युनिटी के लोगों के वेलफेयर के लिए दिया जा रहा है. मगर यहाँ पे लैंड है ना जो वक़्फ़ बोर्ड है ना वो यहाँ पे अनरजिस्टर्ड लैंड्स को मतलब अनरजिस्टर्ड छोड़ देंगे बहुत लैंड्स को माफिया या बीच में जो करप्शन चल रहा है ना उन लोगों को थोड़े चीज़ों पे छोटे वैल्यू पे लीज देके लैंड को बहुत हरक कर रहे हैं. इसकी वजह से ट्रांसपेरेंसी जा रहा है यहाँ पे. इसका मतलब क्या हो सकता है कि वो हमें क्वेश्चन करे यहाँ पे ट्रांसपेरेंसी की बात चल रही है, कहाँ ट्रांसपेरेंसी. वैसे देखें तो 2013 बिल में भी कोई ट्रांसपेरेंसी नहीं थी ना जो इन्होंने पास की. ओके
As we have seen, the leader of opposition just spoke in bold letters, speaking loudly. I feel this leader of opposition is more concerned about the credit than the betterment of the legislation. this government wants the credit of doing the legislation, not the betterment of the legislation. And he also spoke in bold letters about the people का right देता है people का right देता है का मतलब क्या है? वो यूज एक क्लॉज है जो लैंड तेरा भी नहीं है वो तू आप दे सकता था पिछले अभी तक ऐसा था लैंड तेरा नहीं है लेकिन तू डोनेट कर रहा है पीपल का लैंड देते हैं तो मेरा लैंड तू डोनेट करेगा क्या?
Madam Speaker,
Mr. Lapid, please take your seat.
I would like to say this thing to our leader of opposition that he must know some meanings of the words. The meaning of the word accommodate is to buy or obtain something.
Request the house to stay in silence.
And talking about Hindu Religious Regulations Code. According to Hindu Religious Institutions Act, the properties which are held under the Hindu boards are registered in digital sansar, which are subjected to judicial scrutiny and multiple checks and audits have been occurred regularly. But whereas coming to waqf properties, there is as you cannot approach to civil court and there is no certain audits and trials. Thank you.
I would request the opposition to counter.
Madam Speaker, as they talk about portals, actually before telling to me, they have to know something. Madam, in 2009, we introduced Vamsi portal. It means Waqf Assets Management System of India, where every Waqf land is registered. I request them and I suggest them to open the Vamsi portal and to see the registered lands, what we are talking about 9 lakhs plus acres today, what the debate is going on. Every land is registered in that manner. Madam, as per the books, the revenue is generated on this. Actually, Waqf has a right.
House, please maintain silence.
Waqf also has a right to generate income, and that generated income is used for the charity funds. They are telling that the income is misused with matches deductions. Madam Speaker, the amount which is generated on the lands of Waqf or in the name of Waqf is completely used for the purpose of welfare of the Islamic community, where madrasas and educational institutions are established, where many women are getting employment, where many poor children are educating. This is what the money we are doing, where the Waqf is doing with this money. I request the government to verify their words and documents.
Mr. Manoj, request the clarity.
Madam Speaker, opponents చెప్పినట్టుగా కొన్ని కేసెస్ జరిగాయి తమిళనాడు జరిగింది బాగా జరిగింది కర్ణాటక జరిగింది there have been many incidents like that and also this is very common అంటే అవును జరుగుతాయి ఇలాంటి కరప్షన్ జరుగుతూనే ఉంటుంది ఎలాగంటే మన పక్క కమ్యూనిటీస్ లో కూడా కనపడుతుంది ఇలాంటి కేశవనంద భారతి ఎన్ని వేల ఎకరాలు ఎన్ని వేల ఇది అలాగా చాలా మంది ఉన్నారు చాలా జరిగింది మన ప్రాబ్లం వీటిని ఆపాలంటే ఏం తీసుకురావాలి ట్రాన్స్పరెన్సీ అన్నారు దాంట్లో షేర్ కార్డ్స్ పెట్టి ఎక్స్ట్రా ఇదంతా చేసి చూపించారు కానీ ఇవి ఓవర్ బర్డన్ చేస్తున్నాయి దట్స్ ప్రాబ్లమ్ వన్ అండ్ ఓకే ట్రాన్స్పరెన్సీ ఇట్స్ గుడ్ థింగ్ టు బి ట్రాన్స్పరెన్సీ కానీ ట్రాన్స్పరెన్సీ కాదు తెస్తుంది కంట్రోల్ చేస్తున్నారు బోర్డులో మెంబర్స్ కూర్చోబెట్టి కంట్రోల్ చేస్తున్నారు ఇది ల్యాండ్ తీసుకొని ఇప్పుడు కంట్రోల్ చేస్తారు ఇంకోటి టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ రియల్ సిస్టమ్ లాస్ట్ టైం ఒక బోర్డులో కేసు పెట్టి ఒక క్రిమినల్ చెప్పగానే అయిపోతుంది అంటారు నో దేర్ వాస్ అ ప్రొవిజన్ ఫర్ బ్రిడ్ జ్యూరిస్డిక్షన్ దట్ సుప్రీం కోర్ట్ కేసు బ్రిడ్ జ్యూరిస్డిక్షన్ కింద దేర్ వాస్ అ ఛాన్స్ దేర్ నౌ యూ హ్యావ్ గివెన్ ఓకే ఇట్స్ గుడ్ థింగ్ యూ హ్యావ్ గివెన్ టు స్కోప్ టు హై కోర్ట్స్ ఆల్రెడీ ఓవర్ బర్డెన్ ఉన్న హై కోర్ట్స్ మీద కొన్ని వేల కేసులు వేస్తున్నారు అండ్ ఆల్సో
House, please maintain silence.
and also there has been 58,000 properties have been encroached by other members of properties 58,000 cases ఉన్నాయి encroachment cases ఇప్పుడు మన పార్టీ వాళ్ళు ఏం చేశారు వఫ్ బై యూజర్ క్లాస్ తీసేసి లిమిటేషన్స్ యాక్ట్ తీసుకొచ్చారు వఫ్ బై యూజర్ క్లాస్ ఏంటి ఒక పర్టికులర్ ఒక లాంగ్ టైం నుంచి ఏదైనా ఒక ప్లేస్ లో రిలీజియస్ ప్రాక్టీస్ జరుగుతుంటే దే కెన్ అక్వైర్ ద ల్యాండ్ వఫ్ కెన్ అక్వైర్ ద ల్యాండ్ నౌ వాట్ దే హావ్ డన్ దే హావ్ పుట్ ఆన్ లిమిటేషన్ యాక్ట్ వఫ్ బై యూజర్ కొట్టేసి లిమిటేషన్ యాక్ట్ తీసుకొచ్చారు లిమిటేషన్ యాక్ట్ 12 ఇయర్స్ కానీ ఎవరన్నా వఫ్ ప్రాపర్టీ ఇప్పుడు 8 lakh ప్రాపర్టీ
18.7 lakh properties, 32 boards, how can they monitor? It's practically very hard. దీనికి వీళ్ళు పవర్ ఇవ్వాలి కానీ లాగేసుకొని కొత్త మెంబర్స్ కూర్చోబెట్టి, this is not the right way. You should give more power to the more resources should be given. ఇప్పుడు 8.7 lakh ప్రాపర్టీస్ లో ఎన్క్రోచ్ అవుతున్నాయి, చాలా ఎన్క్రోచ్ అవుతున్నాయి. వీళ్ళు పెట్టిన ఈ లిమిటేషన్స్ యాక్ట్ క్లాజ్ వల్ల గత లాస్ట్ 12 years ఎవరైతే అక్కడ భూమిలో కూర్చోన్నారో వాళ్ళకి కూలిపోతుంది. యు ఆర్ డిస్పవరింగ్ పీపుల్. ఇక్కడ మీకు ఆల్రెడీ ఉన్న పవర్ ని కొట్టేస్తున్నారు, తగ్గించేస్తున్నారు. మళ్ళీ ఎంపవరింగ్. ఓకే పవర్, ఓకే ఇట్స్ పవర్ ఇస్ ఆల్వేస్ రాంగ్. ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ ఆఫ్ పవర్ ఇస్ ఆల్వేస్ రాంగ్. yes, ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ ఆఫ్ పవర్ ఉండకూడదు. కానీ this is meant for God's service and the purpose charity. As my colleague has mentioned that Vakshi Portal each property ఎలా వాడుతున్నారు అనేది it's clearly there, it's detailed. Thank you.
Sir, we are not controlling as you said, everything that's happening all the revenue is going for charity purposes. Then what is the fee? Like, why are you guys afraid? See, the representation of people from outside the golf course, it is minor, and the domain they deal with is administration, not with charity or other religious. I don't mean to be offensive, but I would believe that in most of the cases, religious leaders are not good auditors, in my point of view, because they are good in their own specific domains. They are good at their jobs, but that doesn't mean that you can bring in a lot of religious people and people.
MPs unnaru, MLAs unnaru, legal advisors unnaru boards lo. There is not a single person directed to
Parliament member Srinivas to stay quiet. Mr. Rashmi.
Sir, మీరు అన్నట్టు అంతమంది ఉన్నా కానీ మీరు ఒకసారి గూగుల్ చేస్తే తెలుస్తుంది ఎన్ని కేసులు ఉన్నాయి కరప్షన్ గురించి. ఆబ్వియస్లీ కరప్షన్ ప్రతి ఫీల్డ్లో ఉంది, కానీ అలా అని చెప్పి ఇది తక్కువ అది ఎక్కువ ఫోకస్ తక్కువ ఉన్నాను అలా కరప్షన్ కూర్చోవడం మనం యాక్షన్ తీసుకోవాలి. మా గవర్నమెంట్ ఏం చేస్తుందంటే కరప్షన్ కూర్చోవడం యాక్షన్ తీసుకుంటుంది. స్విఫ్ట్ యాక్షన్ ఇవాళ కేసు అంటే డెవలప్ తీరుతుందని చెప్పట్లేదు. బట్ స్టెప్స్ ఆర్ బీయింగ్ టేకెన్ టు రెడ్యూస్ ద కరప్షన్ అండ్ ట్రాన్స్పరెన్సీ. అండ్ మీరు చెప్పినట్టు ఒకవేళ అంతా ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ ఫైన్, then why is all this ఒకవేళ ఈ కంట్రోల్ అన్న ఇష్యూ వచ్చేసరికి ఏదో అందరి మా దగ్గర ఉన్న లాగేసుకున్నారు అని చెప్తున్నారు. ఇప్పుడు అది టోటల్ యూనిట్ డెసిషన్ తీసుకున్నారు, ఏదో అంతా ఇచ్చేయండి అని చెప్పేసి ప్రాపర్ ప్రొసీజర్ ఇస్తే if proper documentation is given that this property belongs to Waqf board, that property will be given to Waqf board. If someone legally is actually and sir, LOP గారు మీరు చెప్పినట్టు ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కంఫర్టింగ్ కాస్ట్ ఉన్న ఒక రిలీజియస్ బోర్డ్ మాదనుకోండి, మేము వచ్చేసి ఎప్పుడు మీ తాతగారు మాకు చెప్పారు ఈ ప్రాపర్టీ మదర్ ప్రాపర్టీ లాగేసుకుంటున్నాము, మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు ప్రాపర్ ప్రూఫ్ అడుగుతారు కదా, మేము కూడా అదే అడుగుతున్నాం. If land is being given, if land is being donated for religious purposes or for charitable purposes, there is no problem. Our government has no problem with that. What we want is the proof that the transaction has happened. If land is being transaction, there should be a proper documented proof. If no proper proof is there, then what is the if there is no physical proof, then what is the proof that this property is being of land belongs to you?
अगर बात हो हमारे लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन ने तभी बताया था साक्षर कमेटी के बारे में बताया, तो उस कमेटी ने एक रिपोर्ट दिया था कि जहाँ पे 4.9 लाख हेक्टेयर ऑफ लैंड वाज रजिस्टर्ड एंड 6 लाख हेक्टेयर ऑफ लैंड वाज अनरजिस्टर्ड एंड इसका कोई डॉक्यूमेंटेशन तक भी नहीं था, मगर फिर भी वो वक़्फ के नीचे था और यहाँ और इसका रेवेन्यू जनरेट हो रहा था और साक्षर कमेटी 116 करोड़ और ये बात ये भी प्रूव हुआ
And when it comes to the majority కొన్ని ఏరియాలో కేసెస్ నడుస్తున్నాయి. ల్యాండ్స్ ని మీ వాళ్ళు ఓల్డ్ ప్రజెంట్ ఎవరైతే వేరే ల్యాండ్స్ వాళ్ళు ఇది వఫ్ కిందకి వచ్చేసింది, వాళ్ళ గ్రాండ్ ఫాదర్ ఇచ్చేసారు అన్నారు. సరే వాటి గురించి కేసు నడుస్తుంది. అండ్ మేడం స్పీకర్, ఈ వఫ్ బిల్లులో నోడల్ ఆఫీసర్గా డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ మజిస్ట్రేట్. Madam Speaker, I agree, and my whole party will agree on this bill. Where దీనిలో చాలా దీనిలో చాలా కరెక్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి, అవి చేయండి. ఓకే, మీరు క్లియర్ ట్రాన్స్పరెన్సీ తీసుకొద్దామన్న గవర్నెన్స్, ఐ అగ్రీ విత్ దిస్. కానీ ట్రాన్స్పరెన్సీ అన్న పేరుతో మీరు ఇక్కడ తొక్కేసి నొక్కేసి పుట్టిన వాళ్ళు కన్నడ. నేనేం చెప్తున్నా అంటే ప్రతి దానికి ఉంటుంది, ప్రతిదీ ఉంటుంది, ప్రజలు తప్పకుండా సమాధానం చెప్తారు. అండ్ రెండో విషయం వచ్చేసి ఏం చెప్తున్నాడే అధ్యక్ష, ఈ వఫ్ యాక్ట్ అన్న పేరుతో ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఏమంటున్నారంటే ఒకవేళ మ్యాజిస్ట్రేట్ ల్యాండ్ ఆయన డిసైడ్ చేయలేకపోతే అది గవర్నమెంట్ కిందకి వచ్చేస్తుంది. అంటే వఫ్ ల్యాండ్ నా వఫ్ది, నా ప్రజలు గవర్నమెంట్. అంటే ఇది గవర్నమెంట్ వీళ్ళ స్కామ్ క్యా చల్ రहा है? ఈ దీనికి ప్రాపర్ రికార్డ్స్ ఉంది మన గవర్నమెంట్ దగ్గర. ఈ ల్యాండ్ రికార్డ్స్ అడిగారు, ప్రూఫ్స్ అడిగారు కదా. ఇండియన్ గవర్నమెంట్ దగ్గర ప్రతిదీ ప్రూఫ్ ఉంటుంది. ఈ ప్రూఫ్ ఎప్పుడు మాయమైంది? వెన్ బ్రిటిష్ గవర్నమెంట్ హ్యాస్ చేంజ్డ్ దేర్ క్యాపిటల్ ఫ్రమ్ కాల్కటా టు ఢిల్లీ. ఈ చేంజింగ్ సమయంలో కొన్ని డాక్యుమెంట్స్ మిస్ అయ్యాయి, గవర్నమెంట్ దగ్గర మిస్ అయ్యాయి, ప్రజల దగ్గర ఎలా ఉంటాయి? అరే గవర్నమెంట్ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ కంప్లీట్ రికార్డ్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇండియా. మన గవర్నమెంట్ ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళ దగ్గర లేకపోతే వీళ్ళ దగ్గర రికార్డ్స్ ఉంటాయి, వీళ్ళ దగ్గర లేదంటే
deciding on these factors, we will not be passing the bill with full confidence. Thank you.
అది వైలేషన్ కాదు, అది డైరెక్ట్లీ రిలీజియస్ని వైలేట్ చేస్తుంది. జస్ట్ రైట్స్ గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నారు, వాడు రిలీజియస్ అండ్ కమ్యూనిటీ.
ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటంటే అక్కడక్కడ మొత్తం ఫైనాన్షియల్ ఇర్రెగ్యులారిటీస్ జరుగుతున్నాయి. దాన్ని దాంట్లో ట్రాక్డౌన్ చేయాలని పర్పస్ ఒక మంచి ఇంపాక్ట్ తీసుకొచ్చింది. అంతేగాని చారిటబుల్ ఫండ్స్ని తీసుకొచ్చే వాటిని కంట్రోల్ చేయాలని కాదు. ఒకే మీరు చెప్పినట్టు రియల్గా 100% చేయకపోవాలి. మీరు చెప్పినట్టు చారిటబుల్ పర్పస్ కోసం ఒక ఫైనాన్షియల్ ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ మీరు చెప్పినప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు మీరు చూసిన కార్యక్రమం మీరు చేసే నిజంగా అంటే అక్కడ అన్ని కరెక్ట్గా ఉన్నాయన్నప్పుడు మూడో వరకు చూసే ప్రాబ్లం ఉంది. నేనేం జస్ట్ చారిటీ చేయాలంటే మీరు చేసే సోషల్ కాంట్రిబ్యూషన్ అని ఆపట్లేదు. జస్ట్ ప్రాపర్ బుక్స్ ప్రాపర్ ఫైనాన్షియల్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ఉన్నాయో ట్రాన్స్పరెన్సీ కోసం అవుతుంది. దాని కోసం అవకాశం అండ్ actually a 7 and upper limit upper limit అంతేగాని ఇంకా 7 మెంబర్స్ పెట్టే ప్లస్ కంట్రోల్ వస్తాయి, ఇష్యూస్ వస్తాయి, అలాగే ఇంకా బిల్ కూడా పాస్ అవ్వలేదు. ఫ్యూచర్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ జరిగి తక్కువ మాట్లాడుతుంది. అంతే ఫ్యూచర్లో నెగిటివ్ థింగ్ ఏమో స్పెక్యులేట్ చేసి
being careful is not possible. We must take any step we can.
ఇక్కడ పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే ఇంకా ఇష్యూస్ చేస్తారు జరిగింది అప్పుడు మాట్లాడచ్చు. కానీ ఒక నెగిటివ్ థింగ్ జరుగుతుందన్న భయంతో చాలా మంచి విషయాలు ఎలా
Prevention is always good, but the also mind of yes. When we have the chance to take a pass bill that takes into account what issues can occur in the future and actively accept it, we must take that chance. It's not correct for us to say that since the issue hasn't occurred today, it's not a problem. Even if the issue might occur tomorrow or any other day, this is the problem. We must take measures so that it must not happen. And Madam Speaker, I would like to request that you direct the ruling party to answer the questions of the opposition party because they have not been talking about the main issues in the bill which is being passed. The question is not about Islam or religion, the question is about the Waqf bill. Please tell us the address.
Madam Speaker. So and first I ensure that you are clear on the question.
Yes, madam. As a request by Mr. Jyoti, I would like to answer the question on the removal of waqf by user clause. Referring to waqf by user, this is a clause which refers to a concept where a property is recognized as a waqf based on its long-standing and continuous use of such purposes, even without a formal or written declaration. Without any formal declaration or written declaration, there is no chance that you can encourage a land to be registered as a waqf. So we do not encourage such things. So hence it is written down. Thank you, madam.
Madam Speaker, written down లేదా same for example what happened during the parliamentary issue at the Ramjan, you know that Ramjan that particular case, the Supreme Court gave they talked about proposal must be mentioned. And what the Supreme Court ruled is that proposal is an accepted mode of creating of just the movie. ఇక్కడ కూడా అదే చెప్తుంది. If you మరి ఇలా ఇంటెన్షన్ illegal అంటున్నామా? లేదు. Same goes here. Naturalization. నేను ఆడుకుంటున్నాం ఇంటికి అంటే ప్రకారం ఒక 30 years 40 years we have been using that. Now 40 years I think change from my not do the same goes. No దీని illegal అన్నా కాబట్టి ఇంటెన్షన్ అంటే illegal అవ్వాలి. But intention one thing another consistently very important.
Madam Speaker, as Supreme Court verdict ఒకటి తీశారు కదా, Sir D.Y. చంద్రచూడ్, అది that case is one of the exception అని అప్పుడే స్టేట్ చేసి ఆ verdict ఇవ్వడం జరిగింది. That is one of its own kind. ఆ కేస్ ఒక exemption that to resolve a conflict, a 500-year-old conflict between two communities, that is to settle peace among communities. And waqf by user and limitation clause గురించి చెప్పాను. Waqf by user is ఇది ప్రాపర్ రేటెడ్ డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ ఉంటుంది. కానీ లిమిటేషన్ యాక్ట్ ఇస్ సంథింగ్ దట్ ఈస్ లీగలైజ్. ఒక ప్రాపర్ లీగల్ డాక్యుమెంట్ 12 years నువ్వు దాన్ని యూజ్ చేస్తే దాన్ని లీగలైజ్ చేస్తాం, కానీ ఊరికే 12 years నువ్వు వాడితే దాన్ని ఎక్కడ లీగలైజ్ చేయదు. థ్యాంక్ యూ మేడం. స్పీకర్
స్పీకర్ ఇంతకుముందు పార్లమెంటరీ పోరాడే శాఖ ఏమంటే ఇప్పుడు రిలీజియన్ పాయింట్ నేను రిలీజియన్ పాయింట్ నాకు క్వశ్చన్ మైండ్ ఆర్ వి పీపుల్ హు ఆర్ స్పీకింగ్ ఆర్ వి హియర్ టు ప్రొటెక్ట్ పీపుల్ అవర్ నేషన్ అబౌట్ ఇక్కడ ఏం జరుగుతుంది? అరే మీరు మొదటి మీరు సెంట్రల్ గవర్నమెంట్ people tell what it was you know religious activities for For example, let us go to some rural area where Muslims what they bury rights, bury grounds, yeah, graveyards and other small things are there. These are not registered. These are not registered. Now when some other comes like this is wanted from where this will be total what to say against them. That's why Wabba is the process. So that this other protocol small that respect but it doesn't actually mean that they are chinega a Wabba is to protect those minorities, small who doesn't even know that whatever land is not made like that. And also, I don't know, this will actually be economics happening in an analysis, and it is constitutionally valid. It is morally incorrect, and whatever they are paying that cost to bring more transparency is happening, but it is happening in a very huge cost which should not be paid by the minority community. And then talk about the first step by introducing other communities, religious families of others. But this isn't, you should not, I don't think so. You should take the first step against minority step by stepping down on it. That's why I asked my honorable members to just think of it once and vote against it. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, let me give another example of by user clause. Suppose there is a person who just lives on the land and wants to donate it to the property. Suppose if the land is the livelihood of the person, it's okay, it's morally correct for him to use the land for his livelihood, just to live there.
He cannot donate it as if he has already much land. He cannot donate it. He cannot donate it on the ground that he is just using it, and it is wrong to donate a land which is not his. It is not. He has a land which is not his place, and his feet. There is no grabbing of land here. By a limited tax, what it is? It's a only as you grab the land, you report the land and you take it. That is what
Around 58,000 properties are encroached. You are giving this on 58,000 properties to those encroachers. It is somebody is encroachers, the limit land. It is good in some cases, but here in the above, it is not.
we need to say that will be taken by the government. Not just because let me make it clear. ఒకవేళ ఒక దగ్గర ఒక డాక్యుమెంట్స్ లేవు 12 years కన్నా లాస్ట్ 12 years లో డాక్యుమెంట్స్ లేవు అంటే అలాంటి ల్యాండ్ గవర్నమెంట్ పొజిషన్లో తీసుకుంటారు. కానీ మొత్తం యూజర్ ఏంటి నా దగ్గర ఉంది సో నాకు అండం కుదరదు. We don't with this government doesn't encourage such things. The land doesn't go
as many points have been discussed. I feel this bill is completely unconstitutional, which is administrative. The base of the constitution, and this is an intentional one, which is part to divide the country. I require the government of the house to not to accept this bill, not to pass. I bear this bill as unconstitutional by the Madam Speaker.
Please take your seats.
Those who call this unconstitutional, I ask them, is it unconstitutional to empower the poor? Is it unconstitutional to empower the women and bring them into the limelight of decision making? Is it unconstitutional to enhance safety?
Administration and clear the process and make it smooth. Is it unconstitutional for the betterment of the life? It's not simply about taking the children. This is unconstitutional where you are taking that land, where the woman is where the woman goes. Where if a woman is living on the top land, where the government is living that land, and where the woman, majority lakhs of women are living. Majority people using this rough land as their livelihood. The income which is generated on this rough land are used for the community service. This is unconstitutional. This is unconstitutional right where the basics of the constitution where they are violating the rights of the people. You people are trying to suppress the minority community. This is the only intention. I condemn this bill.
Please.
have not been addressing the issue as already
And let me tell you one small. Let us assume that, assuming that.
This shows the intention that these guys want to rule that place. If they have the intention that they don't want to rule majority basic common sense ఉంటే multiple Muslims పెట్టి తక్కువ బిల్లు పెట్టేటోళ్ళు కానీ ఇది నమ్మకం మాత్రం మెజారిటీ ఉంది. This shows an alphabet intent and the point is not that you are not అంటే this assuming it as a brain you are thinking about దీని కంట్రోల్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నారు. Of course you are trying to control their actions by their decisions. You are controlling limiting the neck of the boat. And then you are talking about this one, the land which is Nadi, and we want to take the land. Nani, this is my state fantastic. When it's coming to the judiciary is very hard for them to walk. More resources involved, more extra costs getting more this making it very hard for it to work. I want to tell that this bill is disabling the whole institution of safety. And we don't know how in the next 5 years how they will be ruling. It is vague, practicing and define cheyaledu, past or future define cheyaledu. Nothing is, the lot is vague and also a lot is arbitrary. So this bill should not be passed. Thank you. Speaking about the criteria, practicing Islam for 5 years. But 5 years. Islam practice, non-Islam practice. The question ఏంటంటే Islam practice Islam practice చేయవాళ్ళు donate చేయలేదు. అది the requirement of practicing Islam for 5 years. And it is not a discriminatory but a reasonable impact to the issue genuine intent. Often it's a religious, it's a proper term, it's a relation which is given for religious and sacred purpose. That means the people who believe in Islam donate and this criteria,
it is helpful and not helpful. It ensures declarations and its religious bodies. Thus the rule is sound. Claims of discrimination is overlooking its uniform application. Thank you.
Now
floors and the house became too We're sorry, the house is about administration. Any member who is in interest that the bill should be passed are requested to raise their hand for an yes, and who are not interested and are against the bill to be passed are not requested to put their hands down. If you are interested and the bill should be passed, please raise your hand. If not, no. On receiving 14 votes, this bill is now passed. And now this bill is passed, and as we come to close of today's session, I would like to thank all members for their valuable contributions to this important debate above. Their insights, concerns, and proposals reflect our shared commitment to preserving this noble institution and ensuring its services the public with integrity and impact. The discussion
On the way forward,